Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a Divine Masculine update. See what they're up to. Hope everyone's having a good day. It's rainy and dreary here where I am. Relaxing weekend with my puppy and my kitties. All right, so we got co-create. So right now the masculines are, they've not fully awakened, but they've like stepped into the knowing that like they co-create their reality. Like it's not just like the masculines kind of start out in this like battle of control. Like they feel like they call the shots, and they do. You do call the shots in your life, but you do have to realize that like it's a give and take with the universe. Like the universe guides you, and you have to make the correct choices to get you on the right path. So they're starting to figure this out, that like they're not strictly in control. And there's this little owl here, so like they're starting to gain the wisdom, the knowledge that they do know the correct way to go in life, and they just need to kind of like tap into that energy of co-creating and not feeling like everything like weighs on their shoulders kind of. If you can see, this owl is like sitting on a tightrope, so I'm kind of getting that like the masculines feel like they're on a tightrope, like they are very much in the energy of one wrong move could sink everything. So they do have a lot of pressure on right now. So divine feminines are kind of being asked to like step back, because like you don't want them to feel pressured, because when they feel pressured, that's when they want to like run and bolt. So giving them like the space they need to not fall off this tightrope is gonna benefit the connection. I keep being drawn to this like little egg down here, and I don't know why, but I'm getting like that Humpty Dumpty reference. Like he feels like he's just gonna crack if he falls and be like completely devastated. So he's definitely figuring it out, though. That's not like the final thing here. Those are just like his fears. Like he fears that if he gives up control and allows the universe to help him, that he's just gonna like fall on his face. What else can you tell us about the masculines? So we got thinking upside down. So this is the energy that they've been stuck in, but they're kind of coming out of this energy, and they're starting to really like pay attention to the signs and let the signs kind of guide them, and give up that control, because thinking is more of a controlling energy. When you are like steady in your mental brain instead of letting your body and soul kind of guide you, that is a very controlling energy, and you're always like thinking like, what's the next step? What can I do? What can I do to make this happen or to not happen, or whatever the case may be. So they're kind of getting out of that thinker energy and the more so like doing. So they're actually doing the work. And then we got this not for you, and it's got a little fortune cookie, and it says no. And then it's like on a chessboard. So like this also kind of ties into that, like they're being shown that like being so controlling is not the greatest idea. Like they should, give up that control a little bit and kind of surrender, which is a lot of what the journey is about. Both sides needing to surrender to the, greater forces that be that are kind of like helping guide you. So, and also, what is chess? Chess is a game. So I feel like the universe is like saying, like, stop playing games. Like, that's not going to benefit you at all. Because when you're thinking, you know, what's my next move going to be? You know, how can I, it's like a manipulative energy kind of. And they're basically saying, like, this isn't good to be in that energy. It's better to just allow things to unfold naturally. And the higher power card on the bottom here. So, like, you know, the higher power is kind of what is the co-creator, obviously, and they are wanting the masculines to kind of give up that control and allow them to lead them where they're meant to go, and just, you know, stop playing this game of fear, basically. So we got yin and energy. So that's kind of like they're balancing. They're balancing their masculine and feminine. So if they've been coming from a super masculine, like macho, like I can't feel my feelings type of energy, they're now balancing that, and they're gonna start, you know, doing more, feeling into more their feminine and expressing themselves and being more creative instead of, you know, always, you know, thinking so much. And then also, if it's the opposite, like if they've been in too much in their feminine energy, then they are being kind of guided to, you know, be more like more of a balanced masculine, instead of, there's like a toxic culture of masculinity that they're being guided away from, and to kind of like embrace their more like intuitive nature, and, you know, really trusting in this higher power, instead of, you know, thinking how they can manipulate the situation. They're just being asked to like feel through it, tap into their heart center, and go about it that way. Surrender. So they are 100% being asked to surrender this overthinking, manipulative, fear-based, game-playing energy. This card says, you are hereby being called to unclench your grip on any old thought patterns that you're getting in your way. Surrender any ideas that make you feel like a victim of circumstance, or which make your dream relationship seem like an impossibility. The mayor of reinvention has just arrived and has made the following decree. Limiting beliefs about yourself and your life are heretofore officially and indubitably declared for the birds. So it's just like reiterating, like, you know, give up the old ways of being, and, you know, it's kind of asking you to like stop beating yourself up for past mistakes or past relationships or things like that, and these limiting beliefs around relationships. Like, your dream relationship is with your feminine, if you have met her or him, and that is like this person that you put up on this pedestal, like, take them off the pedestal. Yes, they're great, they're wonderful, but like, take them down off the pedestal and just make them a regular person, and it will not seem as intimidating or scary, or like, you know, this person's out of my league, or they're too good for me, or they're more advanced spiritually, or whatever the case may be, whatever it is that holds you back. The universe is asking you to surrender that belief and like make this person your equal. Like, when you have a best friend, which is what twins are, when you have a best friend, you don't really think of them as, you know, unless you have an insecurity, but typically you don't think of them as like better or less than you. They just are. They're your best friend. Like, you connect on this really deep level, and that's kind of what they're wanting you to like equate this person to, and to not make them this like god or goddess that you're like, you know, lusting after. They want you to really tap into your heart and just feel the love that that person also has for you. Alright, what else can you tell us about the masculines? That's why this came out last reading I did for them. Vulnerability. So this really ties into that, like allowing that like macho facade to really like break down and just be able to share your innermost thoughts and feelings and beliefs with this person that you are dreaming of. You know, no matter what you say to them, they're not gonna make fun of you or, you know, make you feel like, you know, the idea that you may have is, you know, silly or whatever may be. And I can assure you that if you have these feelings for this person and you're scared to like unleash them and to reveal them, you will never know until you try. And it's not to say you have to do it all at once, like word vomit your feelings onto them, but like, you know, you can peel back the layers of the onion, that's like a metaphor, like, and, you know, kind of just start opening yourself up more and more. And honestly, the first step is to just reach out to the person, because I feel like this, and I know I go through it too, there's this like push and pull of like, should I reach out? Should I not reach out? Like, you know, do they want to talk to me? You know, did I mess things up royally and I should just leave them alone forever? But I feel like if there's a person on your mind that you cannot stop thinking about, and, you know, you're kind of feeling balanced otherwise, but this person just keeps showing up in your reality, then, you know, it's worth a second shot. And it's worth you, you know, communicating with this person how you're feeling. And, you know, it might feel silly at first. You may feel like a little kid again, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. And you might like feel kind of bashful, but like that other person probably adores the shit out of you, and they would love to hear these things from you. And the more you hold back, the more it creates this like stagnant, you know, tension that's a little bit harder to get through. But once you open that door to communication and you just like lay your cards out, you know, that other person, you know, one or two things can happen. They can pick up those same cards, they can show you their own cards, or, you know, they may say, I'm sorry, but I don't feel the same, which is gonna suck royally, I can tell you that. But I highly doubt that if you're feeling this type of intensity with someone or for someone, that they don't feel the same way to you in some aspect. So this is basically just telling you that it is okay to be vulnerable, and it is okay to, I know I've been seeing this a lot in the support groups. Funny this came out, but the next card is support, that's why I say that. But in these groups, there's a theme with masculines. They like come on all hot and heavy to their feminines, and they're very like in a sexual energy. And I know that it's very comfortable to like be sexual because you're not really opening yourself up. It's very easy to just like talk shit and be like, oh yeah, I want to do X, Y, and Z to you. But like true vulnerability is like speaking from your heart and not your sacral chakra. So in these groups, I keep seeing like the masculines come in and they want to be all sexual, and that's an imbalance. Obviously both sides feel very passionately towards the other, but you know, your feminine, the other part of you, whatever, they want to know how you feel about them aside from the physical. So that is what you need to tap into and not be as sexual, because a lot of times this is what happens. Like you come in all sexual and the other twin gets triggered and they're like, what the hell, does he just want me for sex? And then you're just like, they put up their wall because that's not what they want. Like, eventually they do want that with you, especially if you've already been there and done that. It's an amazing experience, but, you know, you kind of have to do the baby steps and, like, build up to that for things to actually work and be more harmonious. So this card is basically saying, like, that you have a support system and you're not alone, and that you can call on them and you'll know who they are, the people that you can actually trust to, like, speak your feelings to, and they're not going to think you're crazy or, you know, tell you, oh, don't do that. Shoot, be down. So anyways, this is basically, and also your higher powers are your support group. So if you're needing assistance and you don't feel like you have the strength or the courage to do what you need to do, you know, call on them. And then also, you know, twins usually have an interwoven web of, like, friends or something. Like, there's just always weird little connections if you pay attention. So this may be asking you to, like, get help from other people to kind of bridge the gap if you're feeling like you can't do it on your own. But I 100% assure you that if you just reach out to your counterpart, they're going to be happy to hear from you. So try not to be afraid. But, you know, and also there's support groups, so join them and, you know, talk about stuff in there, and people in there can also help you. But you have to also take that with a grain of salt, because people in there are very much in their wounds, and they don't always have the best advice because they haven't healed past their wounds, in order to give, like, ego-free advice. Whenever I give advice, I try to, like, release my ego before I even speak and, like, tap into my higher self. And I do that before each reading as well, just because, like, I wouldn't want to put my energy into, well, I mean, my energy is going to be it no matter what, but I would rather have, like, clean energy put in than, like, my ego energy. Alright, Spirit, what else can you tell us about the masculines? Ooh. My cat is, like, obsessed with, get down, shoot, shoot, shoot. He loves when I do readings. He, like, wants to get in the mix. Get down, buddy. Shoo. 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 Oh my goodness. He's gonna knock all this stuff over. Alright, so we got wishes fulfilled and say you're sorry. That's funny because there's a little kitty and a doggy on this card. We got this one. So, what Spirit is trying to say to you is, if you're feeling guilty for anything you've done to your feminine, I'm sorry and changed behavior goes a long way. You don't need to beat yourself up over what's happened. You simply just need to lay it out there for them, and they will completely understand. When you hold everything back and keep it inside, it creates this humongous, like, level of tension, and it feels like way bigger than it really is. And we got wishes fulfilled. So I'm getting that, like, you reaching out and making this communication is really going to bring in, like, all these wishes that you've been putting out into the universe for this person. All right, so this I'm sorry card says, are you carrying around regret? Is there a relationship that needs healing, but you just don't know what to say? Give your pride a rest and simply start with I'm sorry. Take responsibility and acknowledge your role in the situation. Apologize for them and for you. Then let it go and be very proud of yourself. Making amends isn't easy, but it's a huge leap forward on your spiritual path. Without the vulnerability, because it does take a huge amount of vulnerability to say you're sorry and admit your faults. Then it says, your wishes have been germinating. They're deeply planted in the soil of the loving universe, and fulfillment is here or just around the corner, but faith is required. When we put ourselves out there, it's easy to get deflated if what we want doesn't materialize right away. Have confidence. You are more than capable of manifesting your deepest desires. It's all happening. Alright, we got celebrate your love. When we cherish our beloved, the bond grows stronger. We create deeper levels of trust, intimacy, and friendship. It's all too easy to get comfortable and put your relationship on cruise control, so spice it up instead. Do something special and spontaneous. And if you're currently looking for a soulmate, take yourself out for a fun date. The happier and more connected you are to yourself, the more attractive you will be to others. So I feel like this is kind of going in with the whole surrender thing as well, like, and loving yourself and, you know, just being really authentic and like celebrating the love that you have for this person and for yourself. And when you do that, it just makes a nice little happy, mushy sandwich, and you guys can like flourish instead of being in a stagnant energy. All right, let's see. Sometimes I like these cards and sometimes I don't, because like I wish there were cards. I feel like timing is such a weird, like, it's not like our timing isn't the same as the universe's timing. So even if you get a timing card, like when are you going to reach out or when is this going to happen, like it's not always guaranteed, because like it's just not the same. All right, we're gonna see, are they reaching out soon? Are they getting in this energy soon? Well, there's something better. So maybe, I don't know, I'm kind of getting that there's something better. Like maybe it's not going to be like, I don't know, maybe they're going to do something like more grand than just like writing you a message. I'm getting the weird energy that this masculine that, or whoever I'm picking up, is more of like they make things bigger than they need to be. So like their apology is probably gonna be bigger than it needs to be, just because they feel like they've really messed things up. I don't know why I'm getting that. Like That's why they're in their head, because they're like, how can I like really make her see that I am making big happy changes. This isn't really answering my question, but I feel like this is something better. So maybe them making these big happy changes is better than them reaching out right now, because I feel like a lot of us feminines are like, I just want to hear from them, but in all actuality, you want them to be their best self when you hear from them. So, but look at this chick on this card. She is like, I'm amazing, I feel good, I look good. So that's the energy you want your masculine to come back in, not this like weepy, I'm sorry, I suck, I did really bad things. You want them to like be forgiven, like on your end and on their end. Well, this is exciting. I'm really excited for the masculines to like step into their power and, you know, create these changes and, you know, make their declaration of love. I've been seeing like engagement rings and things like that. So like I would crap if some of these masculines just like come back in and straight up propose. Like that would be crazy in a good way. But like, I don't know. I just keep seeing engagement rings everywhere. It's really, really nuts. If my masculine did that, I would probably have a heart attack. In a good way though. Compromise. So we got our little scales. So this is asking them to compromise on what they want versus what you want, I guess. So I think the masculines also need to compromise on the control. You know, kind of like letting loose and balancing their energy. And once they get into a balance, they'll be able to come in with this, you know, wish fulfillment and apology. Well, the cards are not telling us. Spirit does not want to say when they're coming in, so I think it's meant to be a surprise and like kind of catch you off guard, and that is the way that they like to work, to, you know, I guess not really give you any kind of a sense that anything's about to happen, and you're just like, oh, okay, hello, here you are again in my life. So that is all I'm getting for this. And if there are any masculines out there who are, you know, in this energy and you are watching, my advice to you is to just go for it. Like, I promise you, your divine feminine will be very happy to hear from you, no matter what your offer is, like, besides sex. Just like put your heart out there and she will accept it and accept you. And, you know, you kind of actually set the pace of this. The feminines do as well, but the feminines do more of the healing and the masculines kind of guide the direction a little bit. So, you know, if you want to take things slow, just put that out there. If you know, say, look, I want all of you. I don't want a friendship. I don't want X, Y, and Z. I want to just go. That's all well and good, but baby steps. You know, take your time so that way you don't get overwhelmed too. All right, y'all, that is the messages that I have for this week. I hope everyone has a good week and the rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time. Take care.